Hopefully, if you have plans, I don't think you're going to obviously be facing those extreme temperatures that we had last week, setting multiple records. You know, we hit 110 twice last week. And then just as far as cloud cover, you don't really have any out there. So today we'll be back in the upper 90s. It's already 88 at UNT Denton. And you can see also check in downtown Dallas Fair Park, right around 88 degrees. So looking at our skyline there in downtown Dallas, you do have another day where we're dealing with an air quality health alert. So if you have upper respiratory ailments, probably a good day to stay inside. This is affecting the counties that you see in gray there. And your temperature is already warming up. So right around DFW in the upper 80s, areas west of Fort Worth, you can see climbing to the low 90s, and then areas east of DFW still in the mid 80s, so a little cooler there toward the east. And as far as a 24-hour temperature change, you can see it is slightly, you can see a difference basically. They're a little bit cooler to the east of DFW by 3 to 4 degrees than they were around this time yesterday. Everything else pretty similar, slightly warmer to the west compared to where they were this time yesterday morning. All right, your dew point. So this is a look at 3 o'clock. You're in the mid to upper 50-degree range, but the dew points are going to drop this afternoon, so that humidity is going to stay relatively low. And you know how brutal that heat index can be. So what's it going to do with the low dew points is basically keep the actual temperature closer to the relative humidity, so you don't have to deal with that heat index making it feel hotter today, is my point. As a result, though, of the drier conditions, we do have an elevated fire danger that will last through Labor Day weekend for the counties that you see in orange. So it is still dry out there. In fact, looking at the drought monitor, this is last week. When I say last week, I'm talking about last Sunday, so right around August 20th. So just within the last 10 or 11 days, it has expanded, you can see, exponentially, especially areas that are affected by the severe portions. That's the one that you see kind of in the darker yellow. But much of Tarrant County and areas just to the west facing extreme drought conditions. And the entire Lone Star State, especially central South Texas, they're in the exceptional range, as well as parts of East Texas, including parts of Houston. So we definitely need some rain. Will we get any? Our chances are very slim just looking ahead. I'll show you that in a second. But right now, satellite radar, nothing happening there. And that's basically the same story for the entire Lone Star State this morning. Very different, though, heading out to the East Coast. We're just looking at the outer bands of what is now Tropical Storm Idalia. And you can see that it is continuing to kind of move away from the North Carolina coast, which it will do today. And it will continue to travel through the Atlantic and eventually weaken strength. But she's still strong. Again, tropical storm now with over 60-mile-per-hour winds. And even though she is basically leaving the U.S. coast, you will still have potential swells right along the southeastern portion of the coast through Labor Day weekend, causing potentially dangerous surf and riptide conditions there. So we're monitoring that. Meanwhile, Texas facing a high-pressure system that will continue to rain through Labor Day weekend. And that means that those triple digits are back. Here's the good news. You got low temperatures tomorrow morning, but then by the weekend, we're back in the 100-degree range. Labor Day, your highs 100. Slight chance of rain next week as a result of a low pressure system moving in from Mexico. But when I say slight, I say very slight. Chris?